Hello, it's Deborah Leanne, and time for a bit of authentic life. This wisdom and sharing and sometimes pretty vulnerable podcast um, is my offering to you in any way, shape, or form that you can glean a bit of wisdom, maybe a shortcut, and um, maybe a patch. That if some people had these upgrades to their system this week, the ransomware virus wouldn't have hit them so hard. And that's what I'm offering you. That maybe there's something here each week when I share that allows you to find a shortcut, to create a way of bridging over some of the sticky parts in life. And they're going to continue to be sticky because that is the new normal. We are now in a continuous growth phase, which means there's no sitting back and letting life, well, you can sit back and let life go by. But if you want to be a participant, you're typically at your edge most of the time. And this is where, in order to be authentic and really live our true lives as we are meant to, with our brilliant strengths and wisdom and unique beingness shining through, we need to figure out a way to drop all of the armor, to show up as our true selves, and to communicate with others in a way that is honest and allows for connection and intimacy and hopefully more joy for both parties. And that is my vision for you and for me and for all of us as we continue this journey that we're on, this growth, high trajectory growth path for many of us. Today's topic is around the shadows that we all as humans have, but mine feature prominently in my life work and my life lessons. And I can explain more about how I know about this profile at another time. But right now, I want to point to those shadows of doubt and confusion. And the interesting thing is why I'm putting them together is they are both very active in my DNA, in my life lessons, in my spiritual and physical work here on the planet. And because they are so universal, I thought that it would be a good space for me to share what I did this week to come to a new place with them. You see, every time I get to a place where I am growing to my next level, to a new space of expansion in my business, in my personal life, whatever, it doesn't matter, there comes this, oh my gosh, what have I done? Did I make the right decision? Over the weekend, I had installed this amazing smart home system, and it's a security system, and it fits in my long-term goals. And I felt really good about it for the first 24, 48 hours. And then the doubt came in, or the buyer's remorse, or did I need to do this now? What if I waited another 6 months? Why did I get talked into doing this now? And all of this doubt, which is a yucky place to be. It feels so much better when we are in a space of, yes, this is cool. I'm on fire. I made a good decision. I'm proud of myself. It's not so good when it gets to a place of, oh, was it the right thing to do? Do I want to, I still have time to get out of the contract. I mean, all of this second guessing stuff. And that always happens to me as I make an investment in myself, in my business, in my intimate or professional life. And I'm bringing this up because it's true and it's real. The other thing that comes up for me is when I get to a space of for example, this week I'm writing the copy for my new website, the consulting website. And you may have heard me talk about this because I've been doing this for months. And I keep getting I stop and start and stop and start. And I get to a place where I don't understand why I do this, why I continuously dance with, I know what I want to say, I don't know what I want to say. And I play in this really awkward and uncomfortable space of confusion. It's all mind stuff. Doubt is mind related, and so is confusion. It means I'm stuck in my head, and I am not allowing my highest self, my spirit, my heart, my beingness that's connected to all, the power that flows through me from everywhere, from the higher mind of the collective intelligence. I don't allow any of that to come in because I'm stuck in my little human brain of doubt and confusion. And that is it's like a PTSD loop. I continuously hang out and it just loops around and around and around, that feedback loop. There's nowhere out of it until I literally put my foot down, which I did. I actually did a ceremony yesterday and said, I'm done with this. I am ready to let this thing go and move into something new. I want to complete this website. I already envision what it looks like when it's completed. It's fabulous, and it's me, and if my offerings or if my philosophy or if anything about me changes, I can change it. I don't know why I think because it's going up on the internet that it's got to be written in stone kind of information, because as I continue to evolve, who I am and what I'm offering to the world does shift. And I'm afraid to put something out there and have it be dated right away. So this is my reason, or my excuses to my business coach as to why these things weren't done on the deadline of April 1st or whatever it was, end of April. And now I said, and I happened to look up this profile, and it brings up doubt and confusion as featuring prominently. And I am really done with that. And I don't know how to heal that. I don't know how to release those things. And she said, well, you might do better just promoting them. And I said, what? She said, give them a new job. And I thought about it. And I've done this with other parts of myself as I work through fears and other blocks, as opposed to releasing or cutting them away or destroying them or feeling they need to be healed. What if I just promoted Debbie Doubter, I called her, and Connie Confusion, these twin sisters, and what if I gave them new roles to play? What if they could come from the place of their gifts? Because every shadow has a flip side. We have night. Our earth goes through a period of dark, and then the sun comes up and it heads into light. And we are all like that. Every one of these traits and parts of ourselves that play out in this case, I'm speaking about doubt and confusion. Every one of them has a flip side. And the flip side to doubt is inquiry. The flip side to confusion is imagination. And beyond that, besides giving them these new roles of being now in charge of inquiry and imagination, which feels really yummy and really supportive of this creative project to complete these writing processes and get some blogs to support this and promote my new website. Wow. If I have them acting in those places in support of where we all want to go, in support of the work that I'm here to do in the world, that's much more energetically in alignment. It feels good. It feels joyous in my system. Somebody even mentioned the word delight when they heard me talking about it. And beyond that, the next step up, where these gifts are in service to the collective, in service to making a difference in others' lives, in the work that I do to support other women leaders, the highest gifts, or the siddhi, SIDDHI, for each of these is truth and illumination. Truth and illumination, which happen to be two of my values, two of my life and work guideposts that drive me. And when I read that, I just fell into this amazing state of complete gratitude and knowing that I am truly being guided through this process of life. And so it is in honor of truth and illumination that I am sharing how I did this, so that if you have a shadow that you've been playing with and has been taking way too much of your power and energy away from you, hitchhiking you, sending you off into stuckness and not being able to complete things. A lot of procrastination shows up. And how can you find the gift of them? Reach out. I'm happy to help you get that determined, or share a couple of books and resources to support you. And the main thing I want you to know is that when you operate with them in alignment, when these traits are in support and in service to the work that you are here to do in the world, to the love and the communication and the creation and connecting in your relationships, how lovely to come from the place of truth and illumination in my relationships. Wow. So how I did it was I set up a space, and believe me, I do not have the correct answers. I would love to hear from you if you have a different suggestion or an idea for a ritual or ceremony. I wanted it to be a ritual, but more importantly, I really wanted to celebrate these parts of me that have been in support of keeping me safe for a long, long time. I'm pretty darn sure as a kid I was quite impetuous, and my mind got me into some really deep and amazing places. So it was probably important for me to remember that I didn't really know everything, and I needed to doubt my intellect at times. It was also really important for me to maybe come from confusion and pretend like I really didn't know everything all the time. And I didn't have all the right answers, and I didn't always know the best way to go. But you know what? When I was a kid, I acted a lot in the place of inquiry and illumination. I think those were the halves that were way more active as a younger part of me. And as I got into teenagerhood and started doubting who I am and what I'm here for and my worth and value in the world and my voice and all of that, the doubt and confusion set in, and they really haven't ever given up their thrones, shall we say. And so the celebration that I did was I actually thought about all of the times that these guys have been in support of me. I gave them names. I envisioned them in my mind, and I invited them to come to a celebration, a ceremony for them. I didn't tell them what it was initially. I actually allowed it to be somewhat of a surprise. And then I made my space really beautiful and envisioned their beauty and their delight as they came to meet me for high tea. And I lit candles. I had beautiful essence oils, which I anointed myself with, and in honor of them. I had, lovely music. It was such a feminine and gracious and beautiful setting. And then I actually recorded a little speech that I made for them. So I have it for future, and I can play it back if I need to remember. But in honor of each of their qualities, thanking them, loving them, asking for forgiveness from them, and apologizing to them. You know, the Hawaiian blessing of thank you, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry, or in any combination of that. And so by doing that, I said, here's what I would love, is we all want to go in the same direction. We all want to feel the joy and delight and higher vibrational energies, because that feels so much better. What if we could play this game that every time I needed to call upon you to support me, you would come forth with this side, this inquiry and imagination, with those competencies front and foremost, and that they could be in service of me as I complete these writing projects this week. And oh my gosh, I could feel this amazing heart opening within me, like, yes, that feels really good to us too. And after acknowledging each of them and giving them their role, I let them know that when they get really good at this, I really hope that they can start playing in the higher domains of truth and illumination, and that's where I would love to live most of my life down the road. And it was so fun, and I believe it made a big difference in me, because immediately it was like that part of me was at rest and at peace, and I was able to go forth and just start writing and editing and getting some stuff ready and sending it off to my web developer. I was able to put some things into place. I was clear as a bell when it came to getting some things done. I mixed pleasure and work, and I went out and planted some annuals that somebody had dropped by and left with me. I watered a bit of the garden. I came back in and I worked some more. I went back out and I watered and weeded a little bit more. And it was in that kind of flow that felt so perfect. And I was in huge, deep gratitude. And that's where I ended the day last night, going to bed with this gratitude of how this all worked. I also shared, and I think that sharing is a huge part of this. Stating outside of my own head and heart and soul what had transpired and how I felt about it with my little mastermind group, my shamanic business mastermind. And I also shared with my my lover this morning. And I also had a chance to bring it up with a coaching client. And now I'm sharing with you. I do believe that one of the best ways for us to really integrate and know something, learn something, is to teach it. There's lots of different quotes. I just saw 2 of them on my computer this morning as I was looking for something else that said, knowledge is a rumor until you embody it. And, learning is just that. It's at the first level until you experience it on a deep, deep level. And I like to say that it has to be experienced all the way to a cellular level. That's when you really know it. You model it, you live from it. That's a whole new learning space. So that's where I'm at. And I wanted to just share this with you in honor of all of us who experience doubt and confusion, and knowing that when I do now, you know what? I'm going to say, oh, ha. And maybe I won't wait until I'm so stuck in the depths of it that I can see it coming and say, aha, let's flip this and operate from a place of inquiry. What if this? What if here? What if we were to imagine something different and possible, and what else is in potential? And this is in service of living in and tuning into that potential FM that we talked about a few weeks ago. You know, because the days of what we have experienced up until now, they're gone, and it's only about where are we going. If we continue to focus a lot of our time and energy on what was and who we used to be, that isn't who we are today. And now we can come from a whole new perspective on learning and takeaways from those experiences and apply them if necessary or need be, or if they're in service to where we're going. You know, we can pack light and just take a memory of them, or we can pack the whole book. It's up to us. How big is your backpack? Personally, I'm not a big fan of carrying on big, heavy things on my journey. I have plenty of them to get rid of, though, let me tell you. I look around my house. I love books. Yikes. So that is my offering to you today. And every time I end these, I just want to say thank you. I honor you deeply for wherever you are in your journey. And if there's anything I can do to support you and allow you to see something from a different perspective, feel free to reach out. And other than that, I look forward to continuing my conversations with you, one-sided as they may be at this time, next week. Take excellent care. Bye-bye.